Hey, crypto family. So, what a day it's been for Bitcoin. Over the past 12 hours, Bitcoin has touched 7,000, declined $300, and actually went over 7,000 again. So, right now it's up over 8%, $6,928, and all of the altcoins are up, a lot of them double digits. You can see Cardano leading the top 10 altcoins up over 20% right now. So, a lot of these altcoins, it's good to see that positive momentum they're having after the long past couple days of bearish momentum. But again, right now we're gonna see what happens if Bitcoin continues this rise. But I'll point out on this daily chart, you see Bitcoin actually went to a high of over 7,000 to $7,048. And I'll go ahead and go over to the hourly chart so you can see exactly when the decline happened. So it went up to $7,000, pulled back all the way to 6,700, and then it bounced right back up to over 7,000 and is hovering right around that mark. So some great momentum for Bitcoin right now. There's actually a tweet by this guy, Larson Future, and he actually has over 21,000 followers. And he mentioned Bitcoin is 2.23x up from the bottom and only 2.87x up from all-time highs. So it only has that much further to go. Still more shorts than longs. Liquidation rocket fuel left, question mark. So what he's talking about here is you can see in the bottom of my chart here, I have Bitcoin USD shorts versus longs. So the shorts are in the red, the longs are in the green. And on the daily chart, so you can actually see it a little bit better, you can see that the shorts are still above the longs here. So again, there's still more shorts, which means a short squeeze is still very probable, which means Bitcoin could have another parabolic bounce. But again, I want to stress right now this RSI is approaching that 85 level where it did have some resistance on this last run, April 2nd. So again, we could have a sharp pullback. If we do have a pullback, I'm looking for us to test the 6,500 level, which is now support. And then if we continue to rise and break through 7,000, the next big resistance is going to be 7,300. So I'll talk about this level in a couple minutes, but that is the next big resistance level that we're going to have to look out for right now. So again, stand by for that. If you're thinking of taking profit, I recommend at least taking half now, so you still have half to run and the other half to buy if there's a dip. But again, not investment advice, just my opinion. Now, on this next article here, it's by Bitcoinist, and it says Bitcoin enters parabolic phase to 7K, but no one is sure when it'll stop. So that's pretty true. No one's really sure when this parabolic rise will stop. I mean, a lot of people begin shorting at 6,000, at 6,500, even right now at 7,000. It's hard to say if this will be this short-term top. It says, moreover, signs suggest the predicted new parabolic phase for Bitcoin's price may have arrived already. Then it talks about the movement of 6,400 all the way through 6,800. And it talks about popular market commentator known as Parabolic Trav notes that the extending lines typically marks the blow-off phase. So Parabolic Trav, like him or hate him, he's very bullish, Bitcoin maximalist, and anytime he always draws a lot of parabolic curves. And right now you can see he's basically saying that the parabolic phase of Bitcoin may be finished. We may have a blow-off phase unless Bitcoin gets power and starts another parabolic phase. So again, he's thinking we may stall out a little bit on here, which I can definitely see because we have been rising a lot. But again, anything could happen. But there is another commentator called Dovey Wan. She has 19,000 followers, and she pointed out that if Bitcoin breaks 7,300, then we're going to the moon. And her reason is because 7,300 also coincides, one, it's resistance, and it coincides with a nice round number of 50,000 yuan, Chinese yuan. So that's a big number because if the Chinese yen is 50,000, that coincides with 7,300, then you know a lot of psychological numbers, like in the US, you know, we had 6,000 or 10,000. Basically, those numbers that are very psychological, if Bitcoin can break those numbers in places, you know, like China, even though Bitcoin is banned, but other countries it's not. So that is one more push that we could have of investors buying into Bitcoin if it breaks that. So another, that FOMO effect. Then you have some more stuff going on where there's this guy, Philb and Leo Wold, which actually had a bet. Basically, when Bitcoin was at 3,700, Leo was betting that Bitcoin would hit 1,500 before it hit 6,500. And as we saw, Bitcoin went up to 6,500. Didn't even visit 3,700 after that. So again, you have all these different things going on, all this hype being created in the market, which also adds to the fact why Bitcoin continues to pop. And again, a lot of people think Bitcoin may still be able to run to 7,500, or it could possibly have a pullback now. But again, it's hard to tell. So we're going to have to be careful, see what happens, and just trade accordingly. Now, this next article by News BTC says crypto analysts call for the death of altcoins, but it could be a lucrative buy signal. So this article was actually published yesterday, and I find this funny because a lot of people, you know, like May 9th, May 10th, were calling for, Bitcoin's dominance was continuing to increase and altcoins were in the red, some of them double digits. And a lot of people were very bearish on altcoins, and you can see, it says they're really living up to their name. I mean, basically a lot of people were bearish and it wasn't good. But you had a couple people here, like the Crypto Dog. I've been talking about this guy a lot on Twitter. If you're not following him, definitely follow him. This guy is a huge technical analyst. He's very popular and he's very accurate. And he says alts bounce here, and this was May 9th, literally 2 days before alts went parabolic. So again, this is a great guy to follow, and you have to really filter through a lot of the people on Twitter. Some of them are just fear mongers. Some of them don't know what they're talking about. And even this Bitcoin Jack Sparrow guy, he said 99% of you probably disagree with me, but I'm bullish on alts. And that was May 9th as well, when a lot of alts were declining. So again, a lot of things I like to point out is whenever alts have that inverse relationship with Bitcoin, that is usually a precursor to an altcoin rally. And we can see that finally happened. They ended up breaking out, and most of them are in double digits right now. So I use time when alts are in the red, especially a couple days in a row, to buy extra, because even though Warren Buffett isn't bullish on cryptos, his philosophy with be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful, I think that's very, very true in the crypto market, because when everyone's fearful, that's when you want to buy, because that's when the smart people are buying, and that's when you can make the most gains. So again, that's something to keep in mind when you are looking at different Twitter posts and following the FUD or believing anything that you hear. Now, this last article is by Crypto Briefing, and it says the rationale behind Bernisk's $1 trillion Bitcoin scenario. So the founder of blockchain venture capital firm Placeholder, Chris Bernisk, he actually told an audience at the Ethereal Summit that he expected a significant, stronger surge in the crypto markets in the coming year or so. And this guy says if volatility halves, the Bitcoin market cap could reach $1 trillion by 2021. And he said all of crypto could reach $3 trillion by the next bull market. So what's that mean for Bitcoin? Well, right now its market cap is $122 billion. So roughly about 9 times from where it's at right now, a little less than 9 times. So that means that Bitcoin would have to be at a little over $50,000. And that's a level that a lot of people have been throwing around, especially by 2021. I can definitely see that. I'm thinking, next year, possibly at the end of the year, we could see it, Bitcoin start to go for the all-time highs again of 20,000. But again, that's trying to be, a little conservative. But again, still, I believe Bitcoin can definitely reach that $1 trillion market cap. But a couple of reasons he puts here, as he says, today's predictions will only fuel euphoria and confirm to many crypto investors that the bear market is well and truly over. Bitcoin has been on a remarkable positive trend over the past few weeks. And he also says, despite the optimistic scenario he paints, Bernisk isn't certain if the next bull market has already begun. In his presentation, he pointed out that $422 million raised by security token offerings in 2018 compared to just $22 million the year before, went virtually unnoticed by most of the market. And I want to point out that a lot of people, still aren't aware of cryptocurrencies. I mean, there's still 1% of the global population are invested in cryptos, whereas during the bull market of the .com bubble, it was 7% of the global population were invested. So we still have a long ways to go before a lot of people are into the crypto space. And he says, quote, crypto is the first revolution which uses interest to spread like wildfire. He said, adding that sentiment can change quickly, and if positive price trend can gather enough momentum, it might well push the digital asset market to spike. And again, that's that hype factor, and that's a lot of companies getting into it right now, and a lot of things going on in the background that people aren't aware of, but then they end up FOMOing into Bitcoin when they see it rising. And if you look at everything that's going on, you would already know that there's a lot of potential with Bitcoin long term, and you would already be in it. So again, a lot of different articles, a lot of different opinions here. Read all of them. Use your best judgment. And right here, Bitcoin actually passed 7,000 again. It's at $7,016. So it's amazing to see right now how much momentum Bitcoin's built. But again, I urge you all to be very, very cautious. Do not FOMO into this, especially if you want to, you can, but maybe just invest half right now just in case there is a pullback. But that's just my investment philosophy. Again, not investment advice, just my opinion. So if you have any questions, please comment below. If you like the video, please give it a like. I really appreciate it. And subscribe if you haven't. Until next time, thanks for watching.